for the first time, probably one of the things on your must-see list is a Hollywood sign. This video, I'm going to show you 9 places where you can see the Hollywood sign, and I've broken it down into 3 groups of 3. The first group is where to see it if you're at a tourist attraction. And the second is where you can drive your car to see it. And the third group of 3 is where you can hike to see the Hollywood sign. So let's get started with our first place, which is right here on Hollywood Boulevard. I am on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We're across the street from the El Capitan Theater, where Jimmy Kimmel Live is filmed. The Dolby Theater is here, where they do the Academy Awards. There's a shopping district, and where you want to see the Hollywood sign is walking right up these steps. You're going to come into this shopping area. There are restaurants, bars, ice cream, clothing stores, makeup, all kinds of things here. But resist the temptation. You're going to walk to the very back here, and that's where you will see the Hollywood sign. To get a better view, head up to the 2nd floor. They have a very wide balcony that you can use, and you will still get the tops of the palm trees under the Hollywood sign. To get an even better view, head up to the 3rd floor. There is a balcony that connects both sides of the shopping center, and it provides an unobstructed view of the Hollywood sign. It's pretty fabulous. The second tourist attraction where you can see the Hollywood sign is Griffith Observatory. Griffith Park is a fantastic place to come if you come to LA. There is so much to see and do, and Griffith Observatory is the crown jewel. There is a lot to see outside. The observatory is free to go inside, and of course you will get that fabulous view of the Hollywood sign. The third place where you can see the Hollywood sign from a tourist attraction is here at the Academy of Motion Pictures. Now, if you like filmmaking, going to the movies, the Academy Awards, this should be a must-see on your list. It is amazing. And they have this fabulous 4th floor observation deck where you can see all around the city, and one of these views is of the Hollywood sign. Now, this is not a great view of the Hollywood sign. It is in the distance, and on a day like today where it's really hazy, it's kind of hard to see. But if you are looking to check the Hollywood sign off your list, you're pressed for time, and you would really rather see the Academy Museum, this is the place to come. Now we'll go to our next category, the places you can see the Hollywood sign from your car. I'm in Beechwood Canyon. This neighborhood is why the Hollywood sign exists. Back in 1923, a developer wanted to develop this area, and he wanted to put up a sign to promote it. He called it Hollywood Land. He put up the sign, and it was only supposed to be there for a year and a half. But here we are, 99 years later. This is the first place on my list of places that you can see the Hollywood sign from your car. Just drive north on Beechwood Canyon. This is my favorite place to see it from the car because the sign is just right there. It's not a tourist area. You don't have to pull over. You don't have to get out of your car. This is a residential street, so as you drive up, you will get an amazing view of the sign. Now, I want you to remember Beechwood Canyon because we'll be coming back here later in the video. This is the second location where you can see the Hollywood sign from your car. I am on Mulholland. If you start at the eastern end of Mulholland, off of Cahuenga, head about a ½ mile up the road, and when you pass Sunny Cove, pull over and look to your left, and this is what you will see. Mulholland is a busy street, so be careful when crossing. If you walk up to this curve, you're also going to get an amazing view of downtown LA. This is Lake Hollywood Park, and it is the third place that you can see the Hollywood sign from your car. You will want to park and get out and look around and get some great pictures of the Hollywood sign. It's also a great spot to see the sunset. And if you walk across the street and look over the fence, you'll get a bird's eye view of the Mulholland Dam holding back the Hollywood Reservoir. Let's move on to our next category, hiking. Remember I said we would be back at Beechwood Canyon? Well, here we are. This is the first one in our groups of three of hikes where you can see the Hollywood sign. These stone gates mark the entrance to Beechwood Canyon, which was Hollywood land. It was supposed to be an exclusive gated community. They still have the stone entrance, but there was never a gate put in. This area is really hilly, so when the developer built it, he put in a series of 6 outdoor stone steps to get to the terraces, the different levels to see the houses, and so the neighbors could visit each other. I did a video of a hike of 5 of these steps. The 6th set of steps was under construction at the time. So if you want to see that, the link is right up here. This video, we're only going to talk about 2 sets of steps to go see the Hollywood sign. So from Beechwood Canyon, you are driving up, you see the Hollywood sign from your car, you keep going through these stone gates, continue on up Beechwood Canyon until you get to Woodshire. At Woodshire, you're going to pull over and park. Now at Woodshire is the first set of stone steps called the Sorrowan Steps. Head up those steps, and at the top you're on Belden. Turn left on Belden, and when you go around this curve, the next set of steps is nestled between these 2 houses. Head up those and you will come to Durand. Turn left on Durand, and when Durand intersects with Flagmore, walk up Durand about 200 feet or more and then turn around. And that's where you're going to see this view of the Hollywood sign. It's fantastic. If you continue on up Durand to the end of this castle-looking house, you will see the Hollywood Reservoir overlooking in the valley. Very, very cool view. And then when you turn around and come back, you will see this sign, which was an original sign from when it was Hollywood land. That's just like a really cool piece of history. This is the hike around the Hollywood Reservoir. The entire hike is about a 3-mile loop. If you are going to do the entire 3 miles, I would suggest that you not start on this end, but instead you start in the opposite direction and go clockwise around the lake. The reason is because the first 1/4 mile or so is really, really boring, and for me personally, I want to get the boring stuff out of the way first, and then the rest of the hike is interesting as you go around the lake, across the bridge, and then you come back out this way, and along the way you will see the Hollywood sign. Now if you want to take just a shorter hike, you don't want this boring part at all, then you can start in this way, head up to the bridge, and then come back out this way. Now when you go in this way, the Hollywood sign is going to be at your back, so you'll have to walk in about a 1/4 mile or so and then turn around and you'll be able to see the Hollywood sign. The third way to see the Hollywood sign, which I think is the very best and why I saved it for last, is to hike up to the Hollywood sign. You're going to start on Canyon Drive, which is a couple of blocks from Beechwood Canyon. You'll head north, that takes you straight into a park. Find a parking spot and then just keep walking in the direction you were driving. You will see the sign that shows the way to the Hollywood sign. It's about 2 miles up, so round trip it's going to be about 4 miles. And this is not a hard hike. You don't have to be in great shape to do it. If you're in reasonable shape, even if you're in like not so good shape, you can do this hike. Just make sure you have water, you have a hat because it can get really bright and sunny, and take breaks when you need to. But the hike is a wide dirt trail, and the view is amazing. It is totally worth it. And don't forget to turn around while you're hiking and taking one of these breaks and take a look at the fabulous view of the city. Okay, so that is a wrap for the Hollywood sign. If you're interested in finding out more information about any of the places that I visited today, then click on this playlist. I've done a video about pretty much everywhere I showed you today. I hope this helps you find your adventure. Thank you for watching.